Hi, and welcome to another discoverdouble.bass.com video. It's great to have you here. We have another episode of Ask Geoff and Lauren. And as always, I'm joined by the wonderful bass player and teacher, Lauren Pearce. So thanks for joining me today, Lauren. It's great to see you.
Absolutely.
Now, you might not have heard Lauren play before. If you haven't, you just stop watching this video and go and check out her YouTube channel straight away. And I'll provide a link to that in the notes below. But we have a question, I believe, that Lauren's going to ask me today. So what's the question for today, Lauren?
This is from Catherine. She's asking, is there a trick to absorb vibration when playing double bass? I have some downstairs neighbors complaining, so I'm trying to find a solution, a mat or a piece of something to go under. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, as I actually got that question earlier from the website, I happen to have a little prop with me today, which is so the first thing that you need, Catherine, is one of these. It's called an Ultra Practice Mute, and you can get them from Lima Music or Bob Gollier or whatever, wherever, and they're not too expensive either. Now they only have a limited effect. They work better if you're playing pizzicato. I've found they sort of do well. I don't know, they have a limited effect on both, but it's definitely worth having if I have neighbour issues, and we all do from time to time. I have had a lot in the past, then I'll definitely put one of these on. I even know someone that travels with one of these on his bridge to protect it, but I've never felt the need myself. But that's a good start. Okay, other things that you should be thinking about are that the double bass will want to couple with the floor and vibrate through the floorboards. So you're right that if you can put some kind of mat, rugs. If you're put it this way, if you're in a carpeted room with a lot of rugs, then it's going to be a lot better than being on a wooden floor where you'll be really transferring the vibrations beneath you. That'll be really annoying for everybody. It's a tough one. What do you think, Lauren? Have you got any thoughts?
It is a tough one. It's a really big thing that I think all of us have had to deal with. The last apartment that I lived in, I had a neighbor who, unfortunately, I always try to be really considerate, only practice during like working hours. I don't try to practice at like 11 at night or 3 in the morning. But I was practicing, like between the hours of like 10 and 5. And my neighbor had just moved in and she worked in the middle of the night. And so she would come home and want to sleep. And it was one of those situations where like, nobody was really wrong. She was just trying to sleep, but I couldn't practice, and that was really frustrating. And I've been really blessed before that because I've had neighbors that are really open to like communication. And honestly, I think that's your best bet is just talk to your neighbors and see if there's a way that you can, trade schedules and see when they're going to be gone. If there's maybe like an hour or two where they, don't mind if you practice, but it's a tough thing. I mean, if you work a job that, has the same hours as they do and you come home and you want to practice, I get it that they just want to relax and not hear bass scales and arpeggios and everything. But I think that's a good place to start. And other than that, I think the practice mute is a great idea. I think mats are a good idea. But, if you've ever had upstairs neighbors, you know that whenever they just walk across the floor, it sounds like they're pounding, like elephants upstairs. But I would start with just talking to your neighbor and see if you can come to some kind of compromise. Because right now they're just annoyed with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had a lot of angry neighbours in my life before. So I just want to give a big shout out to all those people that I upset, especially the lady that used to bang on my floor, her ceiling with a broom. I apologise because,
The neighbor that I just had at the last apartment would bang on the wall so hard that one of my clocks fell off the wall.
Wow.
She was very angry with me. And after that, I was like, okay.
She sounds very angry.
She was really, I mean, to be fair, if I was woken up by high screechy bass playing, I would probably be annoyed as well. So.
Absolutely. Just to finish off, a couple more ideas to throw your way, Catherine. I mean, the extreme end is to use a different instrument. An electric upright bass, like a Yamaha silent bass, is an option.
It's a great idea.
I don't know. It's one of those things. It's an expensive option. I'd like an electric upright to practice on, but you've got to spend a lot of money and to get one, and that can be a bit of a pain. Another option is that I have a friend who recently got a Chadwick folding bass. I mean, this is an extreme option, but he has a Chadwick folding bass to travel with, and that actually folds up into itself, and there's a sort of large wooden brace that goes inside the instrument because the back actually opens up, and if you leave that in whilst practicing, it should mute the bass a little bit, or quite significantly actually. So a friend was reporting really good success with that. So that's maybe an option if you have one of those, or considering getting one of those Chadwick fold-up basses. So I hope that's helped. Now this is really one that we're throwing out to the community, and it would be great to hear your thoughts, because I'm sure everybody has these little tricks and ideas that might help.
Us.
yeah, we want this should be called Ask the Audience, because we have no idea and we need your help. So please leave that in the comments below, and of course you can leave your questions for future episodes. So Lauren, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you all next time. Thanks a lot, guys.